Hello everyone, myself Vaibhav. In today's session of Visual JForex, I will demonstrate to you the use and functions of the variable named on candle. This is the start point which we use on the Visual JForex board, which has been developed by the Dukascopy Bank SA. Here, this is the start point used to initialize the algorithm. When we have to access its individual components, we have to look at the variables characteristics and we can access the individual characteristics using these defined variables. So we go into these on candles properties which are listed here in the sections of variable, and in on candle you get last ask candle, last bid candle, and then depending on your requirement you can access the last ask candles high, open price, closing price, low price, volume, time period, the instrument, the underlying instrument for the candle, and the candle time. So all these components can be accessed, which we can then use to set certain conditions if we feel that our algorithm is going to be more efficient. I will give you one example. Usually, even in my algorithms, whenever I develop, I subtract the last bit candle's value from the last ask candle value to make sure that the spread is within the defined range. In case of Euro USD, the spread I look for is in the vicinity of zero point 0.3 pips. Usually I prefer the spread to be lower. That makes the trade more profitable, as less is the spread, less will be the cost of the trade, because whenever we open the trade, regardless whether it ends in profit or loss, we have to bear the cost of the trade, and that includes the spread and commission. And as a caution, I think even when there is not much volume in the trading, and even during the closing time after the US trading session ends, there are 1 or 2 hours which see thin volume and the spread is a lot higher. So during such times, if we execute a trade with a lot of trade size, then the initial cost of the trade is going to be a lot higher. To minimize such kind of instances, I check the spread, and to that extent, we can rely on doing the calculation using these last ask candle and last bid candle. And also, whenever you want to pinpoint the exact entry and exit points, you can access the last candle's closing and opening price, and then using these variables you can set the condition. And also, if you want to access its other components like high price, low price, you can do that. The candle period is usually of 10 seconds. This is the least candle period, and we can change the candle period, but that is for the default time variable. But for individual last ask candle and bid candle, we can't really change the time. Suppose if you want to edit it, that option is disabled, so we can't really edit this variable. And when you want to subscribe to any particular instrument, you can take this variable, and you can, as you can see, last ask candle instrument, this is dynamic and we have to match this instrument. So whatever is the underlying instrument, we can set the condition that it should be equal to the instrument of our choice. If your choice is Euro USD, then all you have to do is take the last ask candle or last bid candles instrument and look for the Euro USD and put it in the second input slot and make sure that it is equal. So we will have to first find the Euro USD. This is a difficult task, as more often than not we end up on missing out the instrument of our interest while scrolling through this list. Okay, I finally got this. And also we have to match the last ask candle instrument with the default instrument, so we will need additional if block to do the instrument subscription, so it minimizes the risk of trade execution going astray. We will set specific conditions, and only when those specific conditions are met the trade execution will happen. So this is how it is done. There is one example where this on candle variable plays an important role, and I think as I remember I have also emphasized this fact that on candle variable has a predefined value of the candle period at 10 seconds. So for each new candle, the 10-second needs to pass. That means the new initialization for the algorithm will happen every 10 seconds. And similar options are there with the bit side also. And you can access these individual components and look at the need of your algorithm and work with it. Suppose if you want to access the candle time, the last candle's closing time, then all you have to do is take this, and if you are working with time unit, suppose if you want the trade to happen only within a certain time frame, then all you have to do is define the second input, and using that you can set the conditions which will be conducive for the carrying out of trade. So last task candle variables, one more example of working with this is when you are going to define the order validity for any particular order, even that instance requires you to define certain amount of time for which the order is going to be valid, and even to define that order validity you can look at the last bit candles or last ask candles candle time, add a certain amount of time to it, and that will be the order validity for the pending order. So these are some of the ways in which we can utilize these on candle variable while developing the algorithms on the Visual JForex platform. So that's it from my side for today's session. If any of you have any idea or any query, you can write to me in the feedback section and I will be more than happy to take the discussion forward. Thank you all for joining in. See you next time. Till then, goodbye.